points, 10 points, whatever, and we're just delighted to be through to the final.
Dublin made you work hard for it though. The goal just before half-time, the goal just before the end. Nervous enough performance, I thought, from Cork.
Yeah, but we knew at the same time that was a very strong Dublin team, so there was no complacency going into it. It was just, we were going to work as hard as we could for the 60 plus minutes, and as long as we got the result, we didn't care what way it looked on the TV. It was just about the winning.
You had 13 points yourself today, fantastic performance. What's it like to play out there? Some players love it, some players it's more difficult. You just seem to thrive out in Croke Park.
I found it difficult enough at times too myself, but the ball coming in was incredible, so I'd actually say I wasn't clinical enough considering the supply ball that was coming in, so honoured to get it, but a lot of other people did a lot of better work, I thought, throughout the game.
A lot of work to do for the final. Cóhardachas Lat Brian agus Harcean Electric Ireland tá Paul Stapleton and Banistor Ginneralton so le gradam lechna himmerha avrana. Sense one of happy with the performance or just relieved to get through?
To be honest with you, relieved to get through. We couldn't be overly happy with that performance, but look, semi-finals are there to be won. We worked hard, we grounded out, but we struggled. There'll be a lot of aspects of our game we wouldn't be happy with, and certainly wouldn't be good enough against Galway in an All-Ireland final. But credit to Dublin, we knew they were very good. They conceded 2 goals in the first minute against Dublin or against Kilkenny and out-hurled them for the rest of the game. And we knew we were going to be in for a tough battle. We certainly knew what was coming, and but it was difficult to play against. And then I suppose when you're down to 14 men for the last quarter of the game was always going to make it difficult. But look, I have huge respect for our fellas, the way they dug it out at the end and hung in there,
Yeah, one of your primary scoring threats, Evan Sheehan, of course, was ruled out at the start, and we saw him hobbling around on crutches. Will he be back for the final?
Oh, we'll be hoping so. I'd say we'll be taking him all over the place to make sure he's right. He's a very valuable player to us. He means an awful lot to us, and in fairness to him, he spoke well to the players as well today, and a lot of players were anxious to win the semi-final to make sure to give him an opportunity playing in the All-Ireland final.
Is the semi-final, do you think, the hardest one to win? The long break since the Munster final, everyone may be half thinking about what might happen in a few weeks' time, being back for the big day. Does that affect players mentally, especially the younger guys?
The long day off was difficult because it was a 5-week period. In the first 3 weeks we did a lot of club activity, which is important and has to be done. But I suppose, we didn't have as much access then. I said there was 2 sessions where we had a full squad. So the last 2 weeks really were reliant on sessions to get them together, and we'd 17 competition then on top of that as well. So I suppose it was difficult, but look, at the same time they were all hurling in that period of time. It's just the collective maybe wasn't there, and maybe there was some evidence of that today.
All right, well, your co-Cork colleague Donal O'Grady is here beside me. It's a question for you.
Yeah, Dennis, I'm just wondering, Cork won the under-17 tournament or the All-Ireland last weekend. How disruptive was that you had a number of the players not training with you, right, okay, and you had to come in after a 5-week layoff then?
Look, to be fair, we worked very well with the under-17s. John Considine and myself would be very good friends, and it worked very well, seamlessly and so on. But I suppose in an ideal world, you want to have your 30 together every day of the week. But look, on another level, you could also say that those 8 guys that we had involved last week, the experience at Croke Park was important for them. And to be honest with you, a lot of them held up their end very well today. And that experience maybe was important as well. But look, ideally, I suppose you want your 30 together every session you have.
Dennis, when you're talking about the improvements that you're looking for, is it just do you feel that's all it was with the amount of time that you had with the players, or what improvements are you looking for the final in terms of getting that speed back up that was maybe there? It seemed to be there more maybe in the Tipperary game than it was today.
Yeah, I suppose, look, we had 3 games in a week that time, and there was great momentum, and I suppose there was a drop in that. But I suppose, today, I suppose there was a little bit, we'd be disappointed with some of the composure in the back line, some of the rush to tackles, and maybe letting Dublin run at us a little bit too easily. And we would have prided ourselves in the tackle, and we would have done an awful lot of work in that collectively going into previous games. And I think we'd be a little bit disappointed with that side of our game today. But now we've 3 weeks to do something about it. And look, semi-finals are about winning. If we won by a point and Claude there tonight with the last, or today with the last puck of the ball, it doesn't matter. It's all about winning. I'd much prefer to be in a game like this and on the right side of it than in a classic and losing. And from our perspective, semi-finals are to be won. And look, we've 3 weeks to work on it. Galway are an exceptionally good team. We see them down in the park in Cork, and we've seen them here last week. And look, it's a challenge that lies ahead for us now. But the other side of it as well, our eyes are wide open now. You know, I suppose you know, a lot of people were saying an awful lot of things about our minor team after the Munster final and things like that. And you know, you're only as good as your next game, and this adds a bit of reality to it as well. And now Dublin are a really good team. Very